Hi there. Today I'll be talking to you about maths and implementing it in the classroom using digital technology. Now, there's many types of digital technology resources out there that provide our students the opportunity to expand their learning. For the purpose of this assignment, I have chosen Create a Graph from KidZone. KidZone is extremely versatile, and with a strategic approach, it can be implemented in a wide range of activities to support our students' learning. It offers the ability to create 5 different types of graphs. For the purpose of this assignment, I'll be focusing on bar graphs, line graphs, and pie graphs. I'll be discussing outcomes from the Australian curriculum that this digital technology helps to facilitate in students' learning of mathematics more effectively, more deeply, broadly, that it can be more of a strategic approach than non-traditional ways of teaching maths like pen and paper. So not only does this digital technology cover strands in our curriculum, but it offers our students so many more opportunities to develop skills such as problem solving, analysing data, decision making, communication, and creation and presentation of information, which you'll see along the way. The 3 learning outcomes that I've chosen to talk with you today are from years 2, years 3, and 4. However, there are so many more strands that KidZone can help cover, and I wish I had the time to discuss them all with you today. Now, looking at year 2 statistics. Statistics and probability. If you're not familiar with the Australian curriculum, I'm on here. I've just clicked into mathematics, gone down to year 2, and there's 3 strands that the teachers must cover in year 2. I have just elaborated on statistics and probability, and I will be discussing the create displays of data using lists, tables, and picture graphs and interpret them. Now this here, it does not state that, or it's not compulsory to use digital technology. However, KidZone offers a tool that is quick and effective for covering this topic in the curriculum, so why wouldn't you use it? Now, I'll be talking about bar graphs to help cover this part of the curriculum. Here I've created 2 bar graphs that look very similar. I'll be clicking on this one first. Now, this is just an example of something that I would do with my year 2s, and we would be talking about pets in our classroom. So as you can see, we've gone and asked the students what they own. It looks like dogs, most popular, and no pets also most popular. But look at all this blank space up here. If I was writing this with pen and paper, I would have to erase out this whole graph and fix it just to make it easier to read. I could lose half an hour to an hour of drawing lines, which is not deepening my knowledge of accessing data and analysing it. Therefore, this approach is much more efficient in the classroom than pen and paper. Within 20 seconds, I was able to go back, change my high and low value to just 10 and 0. Now this looks much easier to read. So this is just showing how much easier that this digital technology is to create a graph for our year 2 students. Now moving on to year 3, it's very similar to what I just discussed. This time again, it's still in statistics and probability, just to show you I'm in the year 3 content description. Now, it says the same thing. Collect data, organize into categories, and create displays using lists, tables, picture graphs, and simple column graphs with and without the use of digital technology. So this time it's saying we can use it. And again, this resource is perfect to cover this part of the curriculum. Now, I have created a pie graph and a line graph to show you how you can use this in the classroom. So we'll start with the pie example. This one's super simple. Favorite school subjects, you can clearly see it's green, go across, and that's sport. Now I just want to quickly show you how easy this is for the students to make once they've collected their data. So you go into pie graph. I can click on, you can change anything here, the colors and the backgrounds and things like that. We'll just go straight into data. For the example, why don't we do favorite sport in the classroom? Favorite sport. Students can choose from soccer, football, let's say cricket, and basketball. Oops. maybe 6 kids like soccer, or 5, that will do, 10 for football, 4 for cricket, and 6 for basketball. We can go into labels and we can change the value, font size. We can be creative and personalize this so it's to our liking with colors. But for this example, I won't be doing that. Click on preview and bam, we have our graph. There was no messing around drawing circles, having to color things in. I'm not saying that's not important. It's really important that kids do learn how to do those things. But when it's about analyzing data and looking at it, this is so more efficient and time effective. Now, the other graph that I'd like to show you from the Year 3 curriculum that I created was a line graph. Now, this one here is very neat and tidy. And it shows the centimetres grown in the school year. You can see here, again, I've messed this one up a little bit. It starts at 0, ends at 150. So the graph looks like these kids are not growing at all in the school year. But if we strategically quickly change that, instead of 0 to 150 to oops, there we go. I've written 119 to 125. You can see it looks like this kid's grown rapidly throughout the school year from February to November. So this is showing kids how we can interpret the data and why it looks now like the kid's grown rapidly where the same graph with the same data before doesn't. So it's really cool to be able to see those differences. I have one more to show you, which is in the Year 4 curriculum. I'll just hop out of these. Moving across to Year 4. This one's really cool because it doesn't actually ask you to create a graph, but this resource allows you to, and it really does work. Now, in the Year 4 content description, I've chosen something from the number and algebra strand. Down here, it says, solve problems involving purchases and the calculation of change to the nearest 5 cents. Now, I've looked at that and gone, recognizing that not all countries use dollar and cents. So to some kids, this is crazy. They've never left the country. They don't know that a dollar could mean 10,000 rupiah. So what I've created was a graph that does show the kids this, that they could create themselves. So you just go to here, bar graph. What the kids could create is a graph that shows euro, Chinese, US dollars, rand, New Zealand dollars of what equals the Australian dollar. So straight away they're saying, when I give Australian dollar away, I'm going to get 11.94 Australian rand. Now I got this statistics from Google 2020 through their currency exchange. Now this is just a quick and easy way for the kids to visually see the currency. Now this is very, very quick to understand and to interpret this data. Now, I understand that all of what I've discussed can be demonstrated through a more traditional method. I'm just going to head back here so you can see. However, handwritten graphs can be messy, they're time-consuming, and they don't allow for mistakes and trial and error. There's no experimenting involved because if you try and experiment, you then have to erase it and start again, and you're not learning the content that you're required to learn. This resource also allows the students to have the opportunity to experiment. They focus on self-directed learning. You want students to be excited to learn maths, and this technology gives the students the opportunity to avoid the frustration of erasing and making mistakes and just focus on the data and the fun part of maths. They can even use their own personality to create different colours and styles, and it'll engage them to be creative and choose those colours. Unlike pen and paper, where you would just get one shot, and if it looks messy or unreadable, you'll have to start all over again. Now look, I'm a very hands-on and visual learner, and I enjoy being involved in activities that involve creativity and practical work on paper. Therefore, a technology resource wouldn't normally be my go-to choice as a learning topic, and I don't feel that I would retain the knowledge as effectively. However, this specific technology, it's visually effective, it's extremely quick to use, and as a teacher of a classroom of potentially up to 30 students, this digital technology, when used correctly, can have the potential to make a huge impact on students' learning in a positive way. I believe that confidence is key when teaching digital technology to a class, and the teacher must deeply understand how to use it correctly for it to be effective. It can provide a time-efficient resource, allowing the students, or myself, to portray a message effectively in a range of different ways that students can learn. However, if it was taught incorrectly, it can waste time, and I believe it may cause a loss of confidence in the area, affording students to not wanting to try again. And also, they might know the answers, but they don't know how to use the digital technology, and therefore they're not portraying that they know what to do. However, I know that with practice, I can teach this extremely well in my classroom, and I'll definitely be implementing this fantastic resource into my classroom. I hope you've learned enough that you can use it too. Thank you for watching.